Good morning, Cindy Curtis here with Wednesday Words. Today's topic for our exploration is routine. I find that when my routine has been disrupted by outside forces, it can really throw me off. And how I react to that is super important. I think about how much of our lives is justified by routines, and even things that are so simple, like when you go to church, what's the first thing you do? Most of us get a bulletin. We like to know what is going to happen next. Even at my grandson's recent graduation, I like to have the program out. I can chart where we are in the process and see how many more graduates are going to have to go across before him or after him. We look at programs when we go to a play or a musical, and we look at agendas. Even in a meeting, we want an agenda. As a teacher, we were taught to write an agenda on the board so your students will know. It gives us some level of comfort to have a routine. But I also realize that I can get so stuck in that level of comfort that I'm not willing to try something different. I have been giving up a routine that I had pretty well established for myself for about the past 4 or 5 months, and it is my morning routine where I have several devotionals that I like to read. Now, they're not long. It might take me 5 minutes to read all of them. They're a nice short page with a focus and maybe a scripture. And I had been telling myself, well, I don't have time to do that. And also, I like to do a yoga practice in the morning, and I had been putting that off. Well, today I decided I need to go back to that, and I can tell you that I already feel a lot better mentally just because I did those things that were part of my routine. I didn't even realize that I needed them until they were missing. And I think that happens to all of us. We don't really have an appreciation for something until we no longer have it as part of our routine. I also just completed a 10-year job that I truly loved, but it was time for me to move on. And I've been realizing these past 2 weeks how much of my thinking, my thought process, my daily routine would focus on that job, because now when I begin to think about it, it's like, oh, I don't have that job anymore. Now I can fit something else in that space, and something else I've been working on, and something else that deserves my thoughts, like this broadcast, like my writing, and like what I'm doing maybe with my website, spending time with family and friends, sending a text to someone and just check on them. I think that that's super important. When we get into this sense of urgency that our world seems to want from us, it's hard to break out of that. We're always in the, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I can't leave this undone, I can't add another thing in, when really, can you add another thing in? And that would be time to take care of yourself, time for you to spend in prayer, time for you to, and one of my devotionals this morning said that if the stress of life leads you to prayer, that's not really a bad thing. And when you think about it, if we're praying on a regular basis, if we're keeping that focus, all you have to pray is just, help me, Lord, get through this day. That's a beautiful prayer. And how long did that take you? 15 seconds. And if it's sincere and it is from your heart, you're going to find your day is going to turn around in many other ways too. So I'm saying to you, when you look at routines, think about every day you have the best laid plans. Every day, anything could happen to disrupt those plans. Try to be more of a go with the flow kind of person, and not panic so much if your routine gets off. And then if you intentionally have to set something different into your routine, see how that affects you. It doesn't have to be forever. It can just be for one day, but it can be a way to make a good positive change. I learned this morning that my videos would be more effective if I made a thumbnail myself to start the video. So I'm going to try that when I finish here. And I record my videos on Monday mornings. And at first I was doing live videos on Wednesday at noon, thinking that people may be able to view when they were having their lunch. That became very hard to do. Then I would do them on Tuesdays because I wanted a day if I had to make adjustments. And now I'm on Mondays. And all of those things are working and helping me to get better organized. So don't be afraid to make a change. If you have to make a change, it can be slight, it can be big. It's up to you. And I will see you next week.